What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay, and I am back with a brand new episode of Comic Chaser because I am ready to give you a fresh new shot of pop culture, specifically comic culture, as always. So, we have made it to double digits 10 episodes. Let's go. Thank you, everyone who has supported the series and me kind of like returning to my roots and reviewing comic books again. It's been fun collecting weekly. It's been a long time since I've had a pull and collected books week to week physically. So it's been great. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys seem to be enjoying it too. We're gonna do things a little different this time, and we are gonna also mention little bits of news that have come out like within the past like a week or so as of the recording of this video, and kind of give my quick thoughts about it. Honestly, I could do whole videos on those subjects by themselves, but I'm just going to kind of give my quick rapid fire thoughts about it. So, Comics Pro happened recently, and they announced some big stuff. First off, the biggest thing, Marvel and DC are doing two crossover one-shots, and I am so hyped. I'm a child of the 90s, man. Marvel versus DC, I grew up on that stuff. Amalgam, I thought, was really cool. But, was it gimmicky and cheesy? Yeah. But was it fun? Also, yeah. I can't wait to see what modern talent and creative teams bring to this. If they get somebody like Dan Mora or like, you know, um, Daniel Samper, one of the Daniels, get one of the Daniels on one of these crossover one shots. Oh boy, it's going to be amazing. Speaking of DC stuff, uh, they also announced the creative team that will be taking over Batman after the Hush 2 arc that Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb will be doing on the main Batman title. It is going to be none other than Matt Fraction of Hawkeye, Iron Man, and Iron Fist fame, uh, and Jorge Jimenez. This man loves Batman so much. He's sticking with this title, but he is freshening things up. He's created new designs for both Batman's costume and the Batmobile. We're going to a more tradition, like I don't want to say traditional, but kind of classic blue and gray. That was the costume I grew up on with Batman, is the blue and gray. But this time, the symbol is all blue, and that's pretty interesting. It really makes the costume pop and stand out. I really like it. Jorge Jimenez is a fantastic artist. Didn't want him to leave, so I'm glad he's sticking around. Honestly, it helps to keep some stylistic consistency. One thing I never really complained about with Zdarsky's run was the art. Uh, sure, it was up and down. I really liked the first arc. The middle of his run kind of dragged, but his final couple arcs, with this whole Riddler, Court of Owls, Mad Hatter thing, was great. It had such a strong ending. I really liked it. But I'm looking forward to Matt Fraction's run. He's done street level characters before. He knows how to do good action. I'm very interested to see what his take on Batman is, and he's talked about how Batman is like the first comic he ever read. So, obviously, I think he's going to take it seriously. So, I'm excited to see what he brings, and hopefully it's, something new and refreshing. Please, Matt, all I ask you is one thing. I doubt you're ever going to see this video, but if you do, if you somehow do, because I will add you and, on Twitter and hopefully maybe by some miracle you'll see it. All I ask you, Matt, I'm not asking for much. Like, I don't usually like demand creators to do things, but Matt, could you please bring back Alfred? I miss Alfred so much. He's been dead for over 5 years, dude. I want Alfred back, man. Please bring him back. I don't care how. I'll accept anything. I just want Alfred back, and it has to be our Alfred. Not an alternate universe Alfred. Not a time displaced Alfred. Not a clone Alfred. Our Alfred. Please do it. Please, Matt. That's all I'm asking. with all that news and stuff out of the way, there was a bunch of other stuff like new titles and things like that. But like, if I, covered all that, we'd be here all day. And I have a pretty big stack of comics this week. It is the last week of February, after all. We have a stack of 7 comics, and honestly, my pick of the week is actually a tie this week. It's cheating, but hey, there's a first time for everything. So let's go ahead and get started. As per usual, I will be going in depth talking about the story and plot of these individual issues. So, uh, there's your spoiler warning. If you have not read any of these books, definitely go check them out. Everything in my stack right here was fire. Like, this has been the best week of reading comics I've had in a long time. Definitely the best week of the entire month in terms of just banger after banger after banger. I man, like I felt stressed, I felt tension, I felt happy, I felt sad. We had the whole emotional range this week. So let's go ahead and get started. With Fantastic Four, I believe this is issue 29. Written by Ryan North, art by Christopher Smith, I want to say. And this is, of course, a One World Under Doom tie-in. They take a very interesting approach to this. This is more of an... Not only is it an aftermath issue to One World Under Doom, and I did review the first issue of One World Under Doom in a previous episode. I want to say it was 2 episodes ago. You can check that out if you haven't seen it already. But this is more of like a societal aftermath of One World Under Doom, and it's definitely a metaphor for current times right now, current events. I'm not gonna get political or do any of that. I think comics should reflect the fears and worries of everyday people. That's what makes them relatable. That's what makes them good. I personally enjoyed it because of the lens that North took this from. This focused more on optimism, from the perspective of Ben. Ben just kept saying, people are naturally good. They'll eventually figure this out. Give them time. They'll see through all of Doom's crap. Don't worry about it, Susie. And I love that. That just immovable optimism is what makes Ben so fantastic. Pun intended. Also, as you can see on the cover, we have our girl, the Jade Glamazon herself, Jen Walters, visiting the team. She is a recurring member of the Fantastic Four. She comes in from time to time. It's always great to see Jen. I did read her previous series, which they reference a lot. And if you like a really good kind of romantic drama type series, it reads very much like a romance comic. Read the previous She-Hulk run that they put out. Was it? I want to say it was Mariko. No, Mariko Tamaki did the one before this, or maybe it was Mariko Tamaki who did the last She-Hulk run as well. But it was very good. They talk about where Jen is at in her life and how she's happy settling down with Jack and different things like that. But yeah, a lot of this is just Ben seeing the world how it is and how the world are kind of blaming superheroes and using superheroes kind of like as a scapegoat for their problems. But Ben just like, it's just another Tuesday. We'll get past this. We can make it through this. And honestly, you guys, again, not to get political, I don't really care, but like that should be the attitude we adopt, man. If you're scared or worried about things that are going on in the world, because you may not feel safe entirely out there on these streets, just remember the words of the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. They'll figure it out eventually. You just gotta hold to it. You can make it through. We're just as solid as our boy Ben Grimm. I really enjoyed this book. It made me smile. It made me feel good, and there was some really sweet, wholesome moments of Reed being in his element, not only as a scientist but motivated as a parent to help these poor young vampire kids. Really good book. I enjoyed this issue of Fantastic Four a lot, and the art was also very good. All right, Radiant Black, issue number. I want to say this is 25. Yeah, this is 25. Uh, if you guys didn't see before, I did a whole the story so far on Radiant Black where I gave my thoughts on the previous issues. This is no, not issue 25. This is issue 30, 31. Yeah, 31. Yeah, 31. I don't know why I just didn't look at the number in the corner, but whatever. I'm not going to edit that out. Uh, and this is actually the beginning of a new arc and a great jumping on point for new readers. As somebody who binged read all of Radiant Black recently, do I think this is a good jumping on point for new readers? Absolutely. Not much happens in this. It was a very much slow pace, slice of life, kind of just seeing where all the characters are at this current moment in time, which I think was needed given all the crazy shit that happened with the Catalyst War. It was a nice breather, and it gives you enough of the basic beats to understand where everybody's at and where things stand in the world, like in the broadest sense of things. Obviously, you're gonna miss direct references to events and stuff, and you won't know who characters are, but it's definitely easy to follow, and I would totally recommend this for new readers if you've heard good things about Radiant Black, maybe from my video, and you want to give it a shot, and you can't afford to fully catch up by binging all those trades like I did, just pick this up. It's a great read, and it's a great way to get hooked into this amazing indie superhero comic. Kyle Higgins and his team did a fantastic job on this. I'm going to keep using the word fantastic even when I'm not talking about the Fantastic Four. It's honestly just one of my favorite words to use. Again, this right here, Tom King. Look, man. Look, I'll be real with you, dude. Your Batman was hit or miss for me, but every time you do a mini series, I eat this up. You knock it out of the park every time you do a mini series. I don't know what it is. I haven't read your Wonder Woman yet, so the jury's still out on that one. I'm probably going to pick up the trade. I'm, talking like you're going to see this, but I'm going to add you, so maybe you will see it. And if you do, hi. I think you did great. This book is awesome. I'm a big fan of combat sports. I love boxing. Don't really watch UFC as much, but I have a really deep love for the sport of boxing thanks to my grandfather, rest in peace. He was a huge fan, and we really bonded over that. So I really love that kind of stuff, and I love boxing movies and that kind of thing. And this miniseries overall just kind of evokes that plucky sports movie. It's not a Rocky 1-to-1. It has some elements and some vibes. It's, I'm not gonna just take the easy route and just compare it to Rocky, but this is really great. Obviously, the star of the show, besides the wonderful art by Ryan Sook, is the character dynamic between Dinah Drake and Dinah Lance, the two Black Canaries. And, of course, with Tom King being a Watchmen fan, and Silk Spectre originally being intended to be Black Canary, it makes a lot of sense. It has a very similar vibe and feel to their relationship. Obviously, a lot more positive in the overall, but definitely still pretty chaotic. We also get a little bit of the early days of Dinah and Ollie's relationship, which is really sweet. They're one of my favorite couples in DC, so I'm glad to see more of that. It was really cute. I wasn't expecting a dash of romance in my like high octane like knockdown drag out brawl comic. But boy, do we get some knockdown drag out brawl moments in this. And man, I when I first started this book, I thought like, okay, the commentators are fun for this first issue, but it might start to get annoying after a bit. No, no, I forgot. I love wrestling. So, over the top crazy like commentators and ring announcers, like Tom has such energy with those different voices, and it's infectious. You get so hyped reading their like play by plays. It's great. This book is just so much fun, dude. But also, because I'm a fan of Tom and I know Tom's writing, I just have this gut feeling that the other shoe's gonna drop before this series ends, and there's gonna be some big sad in here somewhere. I hope Dinah's mom doesn't die, but I'm bracing myself for some emotional trauma because Tom King is very good at writing emotional trauma. I say that with all the love in the world, Tom, if you happen to be watching this. Uh, really enjoyed this book. I cannot wait for more. This is a great miniseries. If you're a Black Canary fan, you've got to pick up Black Canary Best of the Best. All right. Now we're into the like top of the stack. Each of these books from here on out just consistently had me on the edge of my seat and was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And this is definitely one of them. Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 4. Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman. This is my favorite Absolute book. Like this settled it. This is my favorite Absolute book. I love Batman. I think Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta are killing it. Superman eventually won me over, but this man, this feels like it was made for me. It's got the magic, it's got the mythology, it's got the found family vibes. Uh, just a strong, compelling, like, dynamic lead character in Diana. It's so good. And we get to see the full power of her lasso of sacrifice that we saw Cersei forge in the last issue. And she uses that lasso's power in a really great, really creative way. I know I said I would go into spoilers. But I don't want to spoil this moment because when I turned that page, I was like, oh shit, I get it. That's clever. That was great. And if you know your Greek mythology, oh man, it's so good. And I love how this comic also isn't afraid to like, yes, Wonder Woman as a worshiper of the Greek pantheon, holds the gods within a certain amount of reverence, of course, like people like Athena, Hera, most of the major goddesses and the like, especially Hecate now that she is the daughter of Circe, and Kirki. I know I'm switching pronunciations. I've heard actually that the proper pronunciation is Kirki. Kirki is a powerful witch. So like this though, they're not afraid to call the gods out on their bullshit or acknowledge that the gods messed up too. They did some pretty terrible things when their hearts were twisted by hate. And that's the most compelling thing about the Greek gods, is to explain these crazy fundamental forces. The ancient Greeks really humanized their gods, made them like fallible. I don't know why I couldn't say that word, but great book. Man, I am loving this series. This What a way to end an arc, and like a nice cliffhanger too, to just keep me on edge and be like, wait, what? What the fuck was that? Oh shit! Absolute Wonder Woman kicks so much ass. I love it so much. That's why whenever it's a week where Absolute Wonder Woman comes out, it will always be the thumbnail without fail, because this book is everything I wanted from a Wonder Woman book, man. It's so good. All right. Next up, we have Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14. Uh, art. This is, of course, Alessandro. I was about to say Alessandro Capuccio. Capuccio is on Ultimates. It is Jonathan Hickman, and why am I blanking on the name when I could just look at the cover? I'm not gonna edit it out either. It is Hickman and Marco Cicchetto. I was like, I know the guy's name. I see it all the time. He's actually very consistent on this book. Marco Cicchetto on the art. And of course, as always, it is beautiful. This issue is divided between Richard's interaction with Felicia and, of course, Pete and Harry in the Savage Land. I enjoyed this a lot. I like how Richard handled the situation with Felicia, just by just using his words and talking it out, having an actual conversation. I thought that was great. It was very smart. It was very different. It shows that Richard is, handles his problems in different ways compared to his dad. It shows that he's a different person, which is great. It's good to really differentiate him and make him stand out personality-wise. So that's cool. And then, the Savage Land stuff. Man, to borrow from Rob from Comic Explained, let me tell you something, man. Man, Kraven the Hunter is absolutely insane. In the best way. He's so good. It reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man, not the Amazing Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider-Man 2 portrayal of Kraven, but given actual time to marinate and not just rush through. Yeah, I'm throwing shade at you, Amazing Spider-Man, or I called it Amazing Spider-Man again. Insomniac Spider-Man 2. Still a good game, but Kraven should have been the main bad guy because he was great, and Kraven is great in this. We get to not only see Kraven in action, but we get to see other villains and their machinations. The Mole Man and Mysterio are possibly, plotting to betray the Kingpin. Oh, this is interesting. The plot thickens. And Mysterio, I don't know what it is, man, but this Mysterio has, aura. Just the way he's, just kind of talking sly and just observing things. He's given me, the vibes of, your classic master planner anime villain. The ones like Aizen with the shiny glasses that always have their hands folded and, it's all according to Keikaku. That's the vibe I get from Mysterio, and I really like it. I can't wait to see more of what he's about. But, yeah. Pete and Harry try to escape the Savage Land. And Pete does get out of there. But at what cost? Not gonna spoil it. But damn. I can't believe this happened. I didn't see that one coming. I'm not gonna lie. It was not on my bingo card for this series. I kept talking about, in previous reviews of Ultimate Spider-Man, how I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Something bad was gonna happen. This was not on my list of theories. So, well done, Hickman. You caught me off guard. I can't wait to see what the repercussions of this issue's, final act are gonna be. Because the ramifications are gonna be huge. Make no mistake, because this issue, man, the tension had my anxiety going through the roof. Such a great book, man. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. I know I'm really just kind of aping off of, Rob's delivery style, but, you can't help it, man. This book is comic crack, narrative crack. Just So good, it's addicting. You want to talk about good comics while we're staying in the Ultimate Universe? Let's talk about Ultimate X-Men issue number 12. Written and illustrated by Peach Momoko. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. Kageyama, throughout the entire series so far, has really built up his presence as a threat and a like big time villain for like Hisako and our intrepid crew of young X-Men. But man, the way he really gets under Hisako's skin in this issue, not gonna spoil it. I'm honestly gonna be super vague with this one because this one, man, you want to talk about being anxious and like being on the edge of my seat, my like heart beating super fast. This one had me on edge. I don't want to spoil anything. I want you guys to like go in as blind as I did because man, this was good. And the ending, mwah, chef's kiss. Issue 13 cannot get here fast enough, dude. Oh my god, this was great. And last but certainly not least, tied for my pick of the week, along with X-Men number 12, is Turtles issue number 7. The beginning of a new story arc, as you can see by the sticker here. And I got a variant cover because my local shop was out of the regular 8 covers. But I honestly really do like the art for this variant cover. You know, April and the Bros sharing a good old box of pizza, very classic. And yeah, this continues where we left off in issue 6. I feel like I covered issue 6 in a previous Comic Tasters episode. I may not have because I picked it up like a week prior, like not on its actual release week. So just in case, I'll recap it again, real fast. So the Turtles all went their separate ways after all the crazy shit that happened, like towards the end, like towards the, like more recent arcs of the IDW series. Uh, Splinter's dead. The Hamato clan is fractured because of the loss of their father. All the brothers kind of split off and do their own thing. You know, Leo goes off to meditate in India. Raph ends up locked up in prison. Donnie ends up like pit fighting and going insane. Mikey ends up an action star in Japan. It's all wild. But the brothers come back together because they find out that their city has been overrun and taken over by the Foot and a like hard ass zero tolerance mutant hating DA. DA, I want to say Hale. Uh, and boy, what a bastard. What a good bad guy. Man, you just cannot stand this dude. There is not an ounce of redeemable qualities in this guy. You want him to eat shit. What a good bad guy. Aaron did great with this one. He really cooked. And he's not like one dimensional either. It's really interesting. Um, but yeah, man, the turtles are their backs are against the wall. All this infighting. The the brothers just feel like they just can't stand each other. They hate each other. Like Mikey is like actually being super aggressive and also passive aggressive towards his brothers because he feels like they abandoned him. And Mikey being the most social one, it makes a lot of sense. Of course, he'd get lonely. Um, but yeah, it's really cool. Donnie is being guided by Splinter's Force Ghost. I just still don't know how to feel about that, but I think it's a cool plot device, and it really lets Donnie shine as a character on his own. He's kind of the ride-along character and protagonist for this arc, and I'm into it. Honestly, he's not my favorite turtle, but I really like what Aaron is doing with Donnie, even if it's a little nutso. I want to see where this goes, man. Uh, as a longtime turtle fan, I gotta say, You know, Jason Aaron, Juan Ferreira, you guys are kicking ass. Keep doing what you're doing. This series is great. Cowabunga dudes, job well done. All right. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of our half-hour long supersized episode of Comic Chaser. Comic Chaser episode 10. Thank you guys, as always, like I said, for supporting the series. Don't forget to leave this video a like, do all the usual YouTube things, hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss new episodes of Comic Chaser, as well as new podcast episodes as well. So hit that bell. Would really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to tell me what comics you guys read this week. You know, what did you guys think of any of the books that I covered? Let me know all those thoughts and feels in the comments down below as well. Until next time, folks, this has been your boy Jay, and I have delivered your shot of pop culture. Hope you enjoyed this comic chaser. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Peace.